Welcome to the gorgeous world. Today, we dive into the most gripping Turkish revenge series that will keep you hooked till the end. Get ready for drama, betrayal, and powerful comebacks. Let the countdown begin. Number 1. Meryem. Meryem is a gripping drama about love, lies, and the price of truth. On a stormy night, a tragic car accident changes everything. Meryem Ayça Ayşin Turan, a kind-hearted young woman, and her boyfriend Oktay Jamal Toktash, an ambitious prosecutor, hit a woman with their car. Unaware that the victim is the wife of Seba Furkan Andic, Meryem takes the blame to protect Oktay's career. In reality, Oktay was driving, but he lets Meryem carry the guilt. Twist of fate. Oktay is appointed as the prosecutor in Meryem's case. With his career on the line, he sees a way to bury the truth and silence Meryem forever. Meanwhile, Seba is consumed by grief and determined to get justice for his wife and unborn child. He believes Meryem is the killer and sets out for revenge. But as he gets closer, he begins to see the cracks in her story. Feelings grow unexpectedly, blurring the line between hate and love. Oktay's true nature begins to surface, and Meryem must face painful truths. This is a story of secrets, betrayal, and a love born from tragedy. In the end, only the truth can set them free, but it may cost everything. Number 2. Kuzgun. In the late 1980s, two police officers arrest a powerful drug lord. When offered a massive bribe, one officer refuses, the other takes the deal. The honest cop is framed in a drug scandal by his corrupt best friend. Banished from the force, he flees Istanbul with his family, only to die soon after. Tragedy strikes again when thugs abduct his son Kuzgun, separating the family. At just 8 years old, Kuzgun is left to survive alone on the streets. Over 20 years, he grows into a fearless and determined man, fueled by revenge. Kuzgun infiltrates the criminal world of Rifat, the very man who betrayed his father. His mission is clear: destroy the people who destroyed his family. But fate intervenes when he meets Dila, Rifat's daughter and his childhood love. She doesn't recognize him, but feels an undeniable connection. Kuzgun, torn between vengeance and love, struggles to stay focused on his plan. Old feelings resurface, threatening to unravel everything he's worked for. As love ignites, Kuzgun faces a heartbreaking choice: justice or forgiveness. This is a tale of passion, betrayal, and the power of love to change even the hardest heart. Number 3. Herjai. Reyhan, granddaughter of the powerful Sadoglu family, faces mistreatment from her grandfather Nasu due to her non-biological status. When Miran, smitten by Reyhan, proposes marriage, it fuels Yaren's vengeance against her cousin. Despite their grand wedding, Miran abruptly ends the relationship, driven by his desire for revenge against Reyhan's family, who had killed his parents. As the truth unfolds, Reyhan and Miran struggle to salvage their love amidst the tangled web of secrets and vendettas. Number 4. Guljamal. Guljamal Murat Nam is a brooding, hollow man whose wedding day unravels under mysterious circumstances. Guljamal exploits her vulnerability, seizing her as his captive and coercing her into marriage she never chose. Guljamal thus unfolds as a tense forced marriage drama where revenge, power, and forbidden love collide, and where both captor and captive must confront whether hatred or the promise of redemption will ultimately prevail. Number 5. Kara Sevda, Endless Love. Kamal, from a middle-class background, has always focused on surviving and making a living. A mine engineering student, he doesn't believe in love or miracles until Nihan, a woman from a wealthy family, unexpectedly enters his life. Despite Nihan's comfortable surroundings, she feels disconnected from the shallow values of her world. Against all odds and differences, they form a deep connection, and their love manages to transcend the divides between them. However, when Kamal must leave Istanbul to work in a mine in Zonguldak, their love faces a heavy test. During his absence, Nihan marries Emir Kazgoglu, a wealthy businessman who had been in love with her for years. 5 years later, a mine accident drastically alters Kamal's life, opening a new path that brings him back to Istanbul. Changed and driven by the need for closure, Kamal must confront Nihan, Emir, and his unfinished business, as his return forces him to face the unresolved emotions from a love he thought was lost. Kamal, born into a modest middle-class family, has always been driven by a singular goal: to survive and earn a living. firmly grounded in his skepticism towards miracles, especially those of love. As a dedicated mine engineering student, he never imagined that his life could change so drastically until Nihan entered his world. Hailing from a wealthy family and residing in an upscale neighborhood, Nihan, despite her privileged background, felt alienated by the shallow values that surrounded her. Against all odds, their contrasting lives intertwined as a passionate love blossomed between them, defying the barriers of class and expectation. Their romance endured even as Kemal was compelled to leave Istanbul for a mining job in Zonguldak, creating an unavoidable distance between them. During his absence, Nihan found herself drawn to Emir Kazgoglu, a wealthy businessman who had nurtured feelings for her since childhood. Ultimately, she married Emir, cementing a new life that further deepened the gulf between her past and present. 5 years later, a catastrophic mine accident set Kemal on an unforeseen path, transforming him in profound ways and igniting a desire to confront the life he once abandoned. Returning to Istanbul, he faced not only the memories of lost love with Nihan, but also the man who now occupied her heart. In doing so, Kemal was forced to reckon with the unfinished business of his past and redefine his destiny amidst the collision of old wounds and new beginnings. Number 6. Aşk, Mantık, İntikam, Love, Reason, Get Even. From a financially troubled family, seeks a steady job in her future husband to ensure financial stability. She marries Ozan, an engineering genius who has always loved her and seems capable of providing the stability she desires. However, Ozan's decision to leave his steady job to pursue his own software venture leads to financial strain. Aseret, who had envisioned a comfortable life, becomes the sole breadwinner, facing mounting stress and difficulties. As Ozan's business dreams falter and he faces multiple bankruptcies, Aseret struggles to keep their finances afloat. The pressure eventually results in a miscarriage, prompting her to file for divorce without revealing the loss. She returns to her parents' home, working as a waitress, while Ozan finds success and becomes a wealthy CEO. 2 years later, Aseret learns of Ozan's newfound success and confronts him, hoping for an apology and acknowledgement of her sacrifices. Instead, Ozan's cold and arrogant demeanor shocks her, leading him to offer her money to leave him alone. Angered, Aseret decides to exact revenge by becoming an intern at his company, Millennium Soft, where she hopes to rekindle his love. Complicating matters, Ozan's friend Sanar also joins the company as an intern and forms a bond with Aseret. The series, Love Logic Revenge, explores whether Ozan will ever understand and forgive Aseret if she will succeed at Millennium Soft, and whether their love can be rekindled amidst the tangled emotions and revenge. Number 7. Aziz. Azizi follows Melik, a young nurse, has had her life shattered by the Alpan mafia family, who killed her successful captain father and drove her mother to a mental hospital. Determined to avenge her father's death and restore her family's honor, Melik changes her identity to Azizi and infiltrates the Alpan family. Her plan is to eliminate her father's killer and dismantle the mafia life. However, as she delves deeper into her mission, Melik faces an unexpected challenge: love. Amid her quest for revenge, she finds herself drawn to someone within the Alpan family, complicating her mission and forcing her to confront emotions she had never anticipated. Number 8. Kan Chichlari, Vendetta. In the story of Kan Chichlari, Dilan and Baran are compelled to marry in an effort to end a bitter blood feud that has torn their families apart. Their union is fraught with hostility, as Baran struggles with a deep-seated hatred fueled by the belief that those close to him were responsible for his mother's death. As he works towards saving his brother and bringing peace to his family, Baran's world is shaken when his uncle reveals he has located the attackers. However, a shocking twist emerges. The uncle is actually the mastermind behind the attack, hoping to manipulate Baran into vengeance and prison in order to claim the family fortune. Unable to kill his enemies, Baran eventually agrees to end the feud by marrying the daughter of his nemesis, only to discover that this woman is Dilan, a woman he once met and felt an undeniable attraction to. Despite the immense animosity between their families, Baran and Dilan's marriage begins a new chapter filled with a potent, undeniable passion that threatens to either evolve into true love or end in catastrophic ruin. Kan Chichlari tells the moving story of Dilan and Baran, whose lives become irrevocably intertwined when they are forced into a marriage designed to end a vicious blood feud. Baran, burdened by the guilt of an attack that claimed his mother's life, strives to overcome his hatred in a desperate bid to save his brother and bring peace to a family bent on revenge. Number 9. Elkisi Destiny. Ezo Sevda Erginci is a beautiful, headstrong young woman who endures emotional and physical abuse on her father Risal's Fikret Kushkin's sprawling Bozdal estate, living under the shadow of a harsh stepmother and an authoritarian parent who blames her for her mother's death. Secretly excelling in her studies, she dreams of escaping to university and marrying her childhood love, Ali Emnir Janyan Doruk. But on the day of her entrance exam, she meets Harun Ismail Eid Shashmaz, a factory manager drowning in debt. Seeing her innocence and her inheritance as his only chance at salvation, Harun manipulates circumstances to force Ezo into marriage, binding her to a union she never chose. In the midst of this coerced engagement, Ezo uncovers the terrible truth that her father murdered her mother, and in a blaze of vengeance she sets fire to the family farm, killing her stepmother and leaving Rizal to die in the flames. Though she avenges her mother's death, Ezo finds herself legally shackled to Harun's cruel bargain. Fleeing to the refuge of her grandmother Javidin Perihan Savish, she must confront whether true freedom and perhaps the possibility of real love can ever bloom from a marriage born of coercion. Number 10. The Tailor. The Tailor follows Pami Dokumachi, a young and talented tailor in Istanbul who inherits his grandfather's prestigious tailoring business. After his grandfather's death, Pami secretly cares for his father Mustafa, who has a childlike intelligence, and keeps him hidden from the public. Pami's life takes a dramatic turn when Aseret, a woman fleeing an abusive relationship, enters their lives with her own hidden past. As Pami begins to design a wedding dress for his best friend's fiancé, the intricate web of secrets and lies begins to unravel. The situation intensifies when Pami's friend, who is a psychopath, becomes obsessively fixated on Aseret and forces her into a marriage. The intertwining dark secrets of the characters threaten to disrupt their lives and relationships, leading to dramatic and unforeseen consequences. The Tailor offers a unique glimpse into Turkish drama, exploring themes of mental illness and complex relationships with a mix of praise and criticism. The series showcases strong performances, especially from Kagite Ulusoy and Olgun Simsek, but struggles with pacing and character development. While some find its portrayal of mental health groundbreaking and emotionally engaging, others criticize its melodrama and plot execution. With a blend of intense drama and intricate storytelling, it's a series that demands patience and an open heart. Fans of character-driven narratives may find it worthwhile despite its flaws. Number 11. Dai Beni. Set in a prestigious high school, Dai Beni delves into themes of bullying, social injustice, and high school romance. Ikim and Meltem, two inseparable teenagers from a modest neighborhood, often envy the affluent students of Dogru High School. Their lives take a tragic turn when a car hits Meltem, and the driver and elite student flee the scene. As news spreads that Meltem may spend her life in a wheelchair due to this accident, the principal offers scholarships to 3 students from Meltem's neighborhood to distract from the scandal. Ikim, along with her friends Bekir and Aish, is thrilled to start anew at the prestigious school. However, they quickly realize that their new life comes with unexpected challenges. Faced with the harsh realities of bullying and social elitism, the trio must navigate a world where the rich have lives far more complex than they ever imagined. As they fight to survive and find their place, Ikim and her friends discover the strength of their bonds and the resilience required to stand against injustice. Number 12. Aseret. Orhan, a successful businessman raised in a wealthy but loveless family alongside his twin sister Naihan, younger sister Nursha, and their emotionally distant mother Afif, is thrown into turmoil when Naihan, who had left to volunteer as a doctor in Eritrea, suddenly vanishes without a trace. Determined to bring his sister home, Orhan embarks on a desperate search that leads him to Hira, a poor girl living as a prisoner at the hands of human traffickers. His quest takes a dark turn when he discovers that Naihan was poisoned and killed by a local gang, a revelation that shatters him. As the truth unfolds and it becomes evident that Hira was manipulated by the gang into being involved in the tragedy, Orhan's grief transforms into a thirst for revenge. In a twisted bid to exact his vengeance, he decides not to rescue Hira, but to worsen her fate by bringing her into his own home. The situation escalates further when Afif confesses that she has deceived her children for years by lying about their father's death. seizing the opportunity to incite his mother's deep-seated prejudice against lower-class people and her obsession with pure blood. Orhan marries Hira, setting into motion a scheme that will either condemn her to an even harsher existence or, against all odds, pave the way for eventual redemption. Number 13. Calpurici. The series unfolds a gripping tale of revenge between two feuding families. Ferret and Hand, initially set to marry with their family's blessings, find their lives turned upside down when Ferret unexpectedly returns to the farm and discovers Hand in a close embrace with their childhood friend, Yaman. Heartbroken, Ferret heads to Istanbul, where he meets the fierce Aish. In a bold move, he proposes a 6-month fake marriage, promising her a substantial sum to help her settle a life debt to a friend. As they navigate their charade, the couple returns to their hometown, Antakya, where the challenges of their new life become apparent. Ferret's overbearing mother adds to the chaos, complicating their relationship and pushing them into unexpected situations. As their deception unfolds, both Ferret and Aze must confront their feelings and the consequences of their family's rivalry. Will their fake marriage turn into something real, or will the past tear them apart? Number 14. Tatil Intikam, Sweet Revenge. Pelin, Layla Lydia Tagutlu, is a beautiful young woman who has never found lasting happiness in love. She finally thinks she's found it with Tolga Jan Nergis, her Prince Charming. But on their wedding day, he leaves her, plunging her into deep depression. She soon realizes her misfortune stems from past actions and that she must seek forgiveness to find true happiness. Pelin reflects on her past and discovers she needs to apologize to Tankit, Furkan Andij, whom she humiliated in college. Tankit, now known as Sinan, has transformed dramatically since that time. After being shamed, he left college, went abroad, and became a successful chef with a thriving restaurant. He returns to Turkey as a confident and handsome man, now operating under his new identity. Pelin believes she can easily win Sinan's forgiveness, but he harbors resentment and plans to exact revenge. In the series Tatil Intikam, Sweet Revenge, the story unfolds in the setting of Sinan's restaurant, where Pelin must navigate a challenging path to seek forgiveness. Will Pelin succeed in mending their relationship and finding redemption? Can Sinan overcome his desire for revenge and reconcile with Pelin? According to me, with its impressive cast, this series had the potential to be a 10 by 10. Many of the actors are familiar from other shows, but the series falls short due to poor scriptwriting and plot inconsistencies. It should have wrapped up a few episodes earlier. Instead, the writers introduced new characters without properly resolving existing storylines. The handling of Sinan's disappearance is particularly vague and poorly executed. Despite these flaws, the series remains watchable and features a visually appealing cast. The storyline is intriguing, and the actors, including Furkan Andij, are talented. However, the ending was a major letdown. The final episode felt rushed, leaving unresolved threads such as Barris and his sister's fates, the wedding, Sinan's overseas journey, and Rosger's storyline. The show had promise with its plot and actors, but the lack of a satisfying conclusion overshadowed its strengths. I expected more episodes to address these issues, but instead, the series abruptly concluded. Although Furkan Andij's performance was solid, his chemistry with the female lead felt lacking. Overall, the series was a disappointing watch for me. It lacked romance and humor and failed to engage, leaving me feeling it was a waste of time. Number 15. Hudutsu Sevda. Hudutsu Sevda is a gripping Turkish drama filled with love, revenge, and power struggles, centered around a forced marriage that changes lives forever. Halil Ibrahim, a young man exiled from his hometown as a child after his father's murder, returns years later, determined to reclaim what was taken from him. However, his path crosses with Zeynep, a strong-willed woman who becomes a pawn in a dangerous game of family honor and vengeance. To settle an old blood feud, Zeynep is forced to marry Halil Ibrahim against her will. Torn between duty and her dreams, she resists at first. But as secrets unravel, she begins to see the man beneath the hardened exterior. Halil Ibrahim, initially driven by revenge, finds himself struggling with unexpected emotions for his unwilling bride. Meanwhile, powerful enemies lurking in the shadows conspire to keep them apart, threatening their fragile bond. As love and hatred collide, Zeynep and Halil Ibrahim must fight for their freedom, their love, and their future. Will this forced marriage turn into an unbreakable love story? Or will it end in heartbreak and tragedy? Thanks for watching The Gorgeous World. If you enjoyed this journey through Turkish revenge dramas, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more stunning stories and unforgettable series. See you next time.